The most common advice given to empaths is fundamentally wrong. You have been told to build a shield to protect yourself, but what if that very shield is the true cause of your exhaustion? Today we will not build higher walls. We are here to redesign your sensitivity, transforming it from an overloaded alarm system into a sophisticated energetic processing unit. If you have ever felt drained simply by being in a room with other people, the next few minutes will not only make sense, they will give you back control. You know the feeling. You walk into a room and the mood of the space instantly imprints upon you. You sit with a friend and without a word their anxiety begins to coil in your own stomach. You come home from a social gathering, not just tired, but with a kind of soul-level exhaustion, a social hangover that has nothing to do with what you drank. This is the daily reality for those with a finely tuned sensitivity. You were told the solution was to build a shield, to block it all out. But this strategy is fundamentally flawed, and it is the hidden source of your depletion. Think of it this way. Your energetic shield operates like an old computer firewall. It consumes an enormous amount of your resources, your precious life force, just to run in the background, constantly scanning for threats. And while it may block some genuine dangers, it is not sophisticated. It also blocks love, connection, and valuable information. It isolates you, making your entire system slow, sluggish, and overburdened. You are using all your processing power just to maintain the wall. What we are here to do is to upgrade your internal technology. We will move away from the clunky firewall and install an internal quantum processor. This system does not block incoming data. It receives it, analyzes it in an instant, integrates what is useful, and discards what is not. And through this very process, it becomes more powerful and more efficient. This isn't just a metaphor for a spiritual idea. It is a precise description of what is happening inside your own nervous system. Leading neuroscientists like Dr. Stephen Porges have mapped this reality through what is called the Polyvagal Theory. Living in a constant mode of defense holding up, that shield keeps your nervous system trapped in one of two states: a state of sympathetic alert, which is fight or flight, or a state of dorsal shutdown, which is the freeze response, a kind of internal collapse. Neither of these states is designed for long-term living. They are for emergencies only. The profound exhaustion you feel is not your imagination. It is a real, measurable, neurological burnout from living in a perpetual state of emergency. Our goal is to consciously guide your system into its third and optimal state, the ventral vagal circuit. This is the neurological state of safety, of authentic social engagement, of connection. It is the state where healing happens, where creativity flourishes, and where your sensitivity can finally be experienced not as a burden, but as the superpower it was always meant to be. Let us begin with a radical shift in perspective. A shift that will form the foundation of your new power. The energy you sense from the world is not inherently good or bad. It is simply a raw ingredient. Think of it this way. The anger you feel from a stranger in traffic is not a poison you are forced to drink. It is a raw habanero pepper left on your kitchen counter. The wave of sadness from a loved one is not a flood you must drown in. It is a rich, dark, unsweetened chocolate. You can choose to consume these ingredients whole and suffer the consequences, or you can act as a master chef, using just a sliver of that pepper to add incredible complexity to a dish, or a dusting of that chocolate to bring depth to a dessert. The great mistake of the empath has been to believe they are merely a taster, obligated to sample everything that comes their way. This is the source of the suffering. Your true identity is that of the executive chef. The kitchen is your consciousness. Being an empath simply means you have the most well-stocked kitchen in town. Ingredients of every kind are constantly arriving at your door: joy, fear, peace, irritation. The overwhelm you feel comes from the belief that you must consume it all. The power comes from realizing you have absolute authority over your own menu. You decide what gets used, what gets composted, and what gets left on the counter, untouched. Can you feel the difference in that? The shift from passive receiver to active creator. And this is not poetry, this is biology. Social psychologists have a name for this phenomenon: affective presence. It is a measurable, scientifically validated fact that a person's internal emotional state radiates outward and directly impacts the nervous systems of those around them, even without a single word being spoken. What you have been experiencing your entire life is real. Let us begin with the simplest and most profound diagnostic command you can run on your internal system. When a wave of emotion washes over you, a sudden spike of anxiety, a pang of sadness, a flicker of irritation, you must pause. And in that pause, you must ask one crucial question. Is this mine? The power is not in the answer you receive, but in the act of asking. The question itself creates a space. It is a microsecond of separation between the stimulus and your reaction. It shifts you from being the emotion to being the observer of the emotion. For the empath, this space is the beginning of all freedom. It is the moment you step out of the storm and onto the shore, even for just a breath. In that breath, you can begin to discern. But discernment is impossible if your own system is unstable. This brings us to the second and most vital practice: neurological recalibration. We often call this grounding. Grounding is not a mystical abstract idea. It is a tangible physiological exercise in proprioceptive and interoceptive recalibration. In simpler terms, proprioception is your brain's awareness of where your body is in space. Interoception is its awareness of the sensations happening inside your body. Grounding is the conscious act of shifting your brain's focus away from the chaotic, unpredictable stimuli of the external world and onto the clear, rhythmic, and ordered signals of your own physical form. Trying to discern energy without being grounded is like trying to read an important, confidential email while riding a roller coaster during a hailstorm. It is a futile effort, destined to result in confusion and failure. The recalibration process is the act of stopping the ride, stepping out of the storm, and standing on solid ground. Only then can you read the message clearly. Let's run this diagnostic recalibration right now, wherever you are. First, bring your awareness to the soles of your feet. Do not just think about them. Feel them. Feel the exact pressure, the texture of your socks or the floor, the temperature. Now, take one slow, deliberate breath. As you exhale, feel your center of gravity sink lower in your body. Feel your physical weight connecting with the earth beneath you. You are anchored. The system is stable. With your operating system stable, it is time to activate the most powerful processing program you possess. It does not reside in your mind. It resides in the center of your chest. Your heart is not merely a pump. It is the sophisticated, powerful engine at the center of your energetic system. And science is beginning to validate the wisdom that ancient traditions have always known. Researchers at institutes like HeartMath have confirmed that your physical heart generates a powerful electromagnetic field, the strongest of any organ in your body. It can be measured several feet away from you. When you consciously cultivate feelings like gratitude, care, or compassion, this field shifts into a highly ordered, harmonious state. They call this state coherence. We will call it the forge of the alchemist. But perhaps a more organic, powerful metaphor is this: a coherent heart field functions like a high-tech composting system. Think about it. A master gardener does not fear or reject organic waste, the vegetable peels, the coffee grounds, the dead leaves. They see it as a valuable resource. They gather these seemingly useless scraps and place them into a compost pile. The heat generated within the pile, a natural chemistry, breaks the material down and transforms it into something new, rich, black, fertile soil that can now be used to nourish the entire garden. This is the art of transmutation. This is what you are designed to do. You do not reject the dense, energetic scraps of the world. You do not fear the stress, the irritation, or the anxiety you sense. You consciously collect it and place it into the warm, active, coherent field of your own heart. The chemistry of your own compassion and neutrality does the work. It breaks the dense energy down, not destroying it, but transforming it into neutral, vital life force. It becomes fertile soil for your own growth. Here is how you operate your internal composting system. First, you collect the material. When you sense a wave of dense energy, you simply acknowledge it without judgment. There is the feeling of stress. Second, you toss it in the pile. You take a breath, and instead of pushing the energy away, you consciously draw it into the coherent field of your heart. You welcome it into your forge. Third, you let the process work. You hold that energy within your heart's field with a sense of neutral compassion. You are not fighting it. You are not trying to fix it. You are simply allowing the natural alchemy of your own coherence to decompose it. And finally, you use the fertile soil. As you exhale, you feel that energy, now transformed and revitalized, integrating into your own being as pure, usable vitality. You have not just survived the encounter, you have become stronger because of it. The journey we have taken together in these last few moments, from a faulty firewall to a master chef to an alchemist's forge, it all leads to this single, pivotal realization. Your sensitivity was never a design flaw. It was never a curse. It was the indicator light, signaling that you came into this life equipped with a highly advanced biological purification system. This is the moment to shed the old, painful identity for good. You are not a sponge, destined to become soaked and heavy with the murky water of the collective. That belief is the source of the weight you have carried for so long. You are a water treatment facility. Think of it. You are designed to take in the turbulent, murky water of your environment, to filter it through the powerful, coherent mechanism of your own heart, and to release a clear, clean, life-giving stream back into the ecosystem. Your purpose was never to hide from the water. It was to process it. This changes everything. It means that where you stand, clarity is possible. In your presence, neutrality can be restored. You are no longer a passive victim of the energetic environment. You are an active, vital contributor to its health. Your sensitivity is the very tool that allows you to do this sacred work. So stop apologizing for your wiring. Stop seeing your sensitivity as a weakness to be managed or a burden to be endured. Begin to honor it. Begin to revere it. See it as the essential qualification for your true work, a work that happens silently, internally, moment by moment. The world does not need more people hiding behind energetic shields. It desperately, truly, needs more conscious purification systems operating at their full, beautiful capacity. This work of internal alchemy is profound, but it must also be practical. You need a tool that can be used not just in quiet meditation, but in the heat of the moment, in a tense meeting, in a crowded supermarket, in the middle of a difficult conversation. And so, we have the sovereignty reset. Think of this not as a lengthy practice, but as a 3-second command line you can execute on your internal operating system. It is designed for speed, efficiency, and power. It is an immediate recalibration. Here is the entire protocol. First, the physical anchor. You will touch the center of your chest, your sternum, with your fingertips. This simple physical act immediately draws your brain's attention inward, anchoring your awareness in your body. It is a physical signal that a new command is being issued. Second, the command breath. You will take one single, conscious, deliberate breath. Not a deep, long, meditative breath, but a focused, intentional one. This breath is the enter key. It signals the execution of the command. Third, and finally, you will execute the command itself. As you take that breath, you will state silently to yourself with quiet authority, "My space is clear, my energy is mine." Let us be very clear about this. This is not a hopeful affirmation. It is not a polite request. It is a command. It is a declaration of sovereign authority over your own system. The first part, my space is clear, is a command that purges any foreign data, any energetic static you have picked up. The second part, my energy is mine, is a command that reclaims and consolidates your own life force, pulling it back from anywhere it has been scattered. Touch, breathe, declare. That is the entire practice. Use it before you walk into a room. Use it after you hang up the phone. Use it when you are standing in line at the bank. Use it whenever you feel the subtle static of the outside world beginning to interfere with your own signal. It is your private, powerful act of reclaiming your space. It is your digital and energetic sovereignty, executed in 3 seconds. We have traveled a great distance in a short time. We have journeyed from the exhausting work of maintaining a faulty firewall to becoming the master chef of our own consciousness. From believing we were a sponge to realizing we are a sophisticated purification system. Perhaps the ultimate key to this entire practice, the distillation of this wisdom into its most potent form, was given to us not by a spiritual guru, but by a psychiatrist and survivor of the Holocaust, a man who understood suffering intimately. His name was Viktor Frankl. He wrote, "Between stimulus and response there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom." That space, that is everything. That is the pause you take to ask, "Is this mine?" That is the conscious breath that anchors you to the earth. That is the moment you choose to engage your heart and become the alchemist. Your entire practice is the cultivation of that sacred space. For the empath, it is the birthplace of freedom. Thank you for joining me in the engine room of consciousness. To put this work into practice right now, I invite you to go to the comments below. Describe in one single word how you felt after trying the 3-second sovereignty reset for the first time. Your word will be a powerful anchor for you and a quiet inspiration for everyone else on this path. Until next time, operate with wisdom.